the humanity indeed. Hanoi spoils you. It conditions you. It rewires your expectations of reality. In Vietnam's capital, the future doesn't arrive quietly. It pings. Apps summon motorbikes like loyal steeds. QR codes unlock meals, museums, and memories. Cafes know your order before you sit down. Your smartwatch buzzes approvingly as you hit 10,000 steps before breakfast. Life is optimized, algorithmically smoothed, friction reduced to a swipe. Then comes Quy Nhon. The plane lands. The Wi-Fi dies. Your phone clings to a single bar of hope like a man lost at sea. And suddenly, the world slows, not metaphorically, but physically. The road outside the airport hums with scooters older than your streaming subscriptions. Fishermen mend nets by hand. Grandmothers squat in perfect balance, selling herbs whose names have never trended. Your smartwatch vibrates again, deeply concerned. No data, no cloud, no idea what's happening. This is future withdrawal, the mild, hilarious existential shock that follows a rapid descent from hyper-connected urban life into rural reality. It's not culture shock, it's tech shock. Your reflexes are off. You reach for ride-hailing apps where there are none. You ask for oat milk where there is only condensed milk, and a look of genuine pity. You expect Google Maps to guide you, but a smiling local just points with their chin and says, "Di thang," meaning go straight until it feels right. And here's the twist: nothing is broken. You are. Quy Nhon, tucked along Vietnam's south-central coast, has no interest in impressing your devices. This is a city shaped by wind, water, and routine. The sea decides the schedule. Sunrise dictates labor. Evenings belong to plastic stools, grilled seafood, and conversations that do not require translation software. In a place like this, efficiency is replaced by presence. The day stretches. Meals linger. Silence is not a problem to be solved. At first, the contrast is comedy. You laugh at yourself, standing awkwardly in a rice field, phone held aloft like a divining rod, begging for signal. You watch your smartwatch log stress simply because a buffalo crossed the road and delayed you by 3 minutes. You realize how deeply calibrated you've become to constant input. But then, something subtler happens. Without notifications, your attention widens. Without navigation, you ask questions. Without optimization, you observe. You notice the geometry of fishing boats at dusk, the way the ocean changes color by the hour, the rhythm of village life, untracked and unmeasured, yet astonishingly precise in its own way. No app told these people when to wake, when to eat, or how to move, and yet everything works. Vietnam has always lived in this duality, a nation sprinting into the future while keeping one bare foot firmly planted in the past. In Hanoi, technology accelerates life. In Quy Nhon, it decelerates you. And somewhere between missed notifications and shared meals, you realize the withdrawal isn't a loss. It's a recalibration. Your smartwatch eventually stops complaining. Your phone battery lasts 2 days. You stop checking the time. The future will still be there when you return. Bright, buzzing, efficient. But here in this quiet coastal corner, you remember something the algorithm forgot to tell you. Not everything needs to be connected. Not everything needs to be measured. And sometimes, the most advanced experience is learning how to unplug without panic. Fade out. Waves breaking softly on Quy Nhon's shore. A fisherman laughing as he fixes a net. Your phone face down on the table, silent, finally at peace. In the next few minutes, we are going to navigate this chasm, not with a white paper or a warning label, but with humor, humility, and a healthy dose of self-awareness. From Hanoi's AI-orchestrated chaos, where algorithms seem to breathe down your neck, to Quy Nhon's buffalo-buffered bliss, where the only push notification comes from a rooster at dawn. This is a guided tour through Vietnam's most unexpected transition. We will unpack the shocks, offer survival tips for the digitally dependent, and celebrate the absurd, laugh-out-loud highs of a country that lives comfortably in 2 different centuries at once. This is post-tech return shock from Vietnam. Buckle up, or better yet, saddle up. the withdrawal begins. Rewinding the divide, how Vietnam learned to live in two worlds. To understand why this contrast hit so hard, we need to rewind, far beyond smartphones, scooters, and QR code menus, back to the foundations of Vietnam itself. As early as the 2nd century BCE, the Viet people were shaping civilizations along the Red River Delta in what is now northern Vietnam. Around present-day Hanoi, they engineered dike systems and irrigation networks so advanced that they still underpin rice agriculture today. This was an early mastery of systems thinking, controlling water, timing harvests, synchronizing labor. In many ways, Vietnam's obsession with efficiency began long before silicon chips. Jump ahead nearly 2 millennia, and history bends again. In the 19th century, French colonial rule reshaped Hanoi into the so-called Paris of the East. Wide boulevards, neoclassical architecture, railways, and administrative systems transformed the city into an urban command center. Hanoi became a place of paperwork, planning, and progress, while coastal regions like Quy Nhon, distant from colonial power and trade routes, remained oriented toward fishing, farming, and the sea. The split between urban acceleration and rural continuity was quietly cemented. The 20th century intensified everything. Decades of war scarred the land, disrupted cities, and froze development in place. But when reunification came in 1975, Vietnam pivoted with astonishing speed. Economic reforms in the late 1980s cracked the door to globalization, and by the 2010s, Hanoi had reinvented itself yet again, this time as a rising tech hub, home to AI startups, fintech platforms, smart city initiatives, and a generation that pays for street food with a scan and plans life through apps. Quy Nhon, meanwhile, took a different path. It modernized, but selectively. Roads improved, schools expanded, tourism arrived. Yet daily life remained grounded in tides, seasons, and face-to-face exchange. Where Hanoi optimized time, Quy Nhon preserved it. Where the capital chased the future, the coast refined the present. And that is why the shock is so funny and so profound. You are not just traveling between two cities. You are crossing historical timelines, compressed into a single domestic flight. One place anticipates your needs before you articulate them. The other waits patiently for you to slow down enough to notice. And when you step from one into the other, carrying all your digital habits like excess baggage, the result is inevitable. Confusion, comedy, and a much-needed reset. Because Vietnam doesn't ask you to choose between past and future. It invites you to experience both, back to back, and laugh at yourself in the process. Quy Nhon, meanwhile, does not rush. It remembers. Long before algorithms, before boulevards and broadband, this coast belonged to the Cham civilization, a maritime kingdom that flourished between the 7th and 15th centuries. Even today, their legacy rises quietly from the hills. 11th century Cham towers, brick sanctuaries baked by sun and belief, standing watch over rice fields and fishing villages. These are not museum pieces. They are landmarks woven into daily life, passed without ceremony on the way to tend nets or water crops. Here, fishing and farming still set the tempo. Boats are built by hand, not CNC machines. Nets are mended by muscle memory, not automation. In Quy Nhon, life is not untouched by modernity, but it is unapologetically unimpressed by it. By 2025, Vietnam's digital leap has accelerated dramatically. Hanoi hosts TechFest, drafts national AI governance laws, pilots smart city infrastructure, and debates ethics of automation over artisanal coffee, ordered, of course, through an app. Urban Vietnam optimizes, digitizes, synchronizes. Meanwhile, in Quy Nhon, artisans continue hand-weaving baskets, carpenters shape boats by eye, And fishermen trust tides more than forecasts, not because they can't modernize, but because they don't need to. This widening contrast is the engine of post-tech return shock. After days in Hanoi where AI curates your itinerary, predicts your commute, and reminds you to hydrate, returning to Quy Nhon feels like accidental time travel. Your instincts misfire. You wait for notifications that never come. You expect efficiency where patience reigns. You laugh when your smartwatch declares low productivity during a 3-hour conversation that accomplishes absolutely nothing. And somehow, everything. Vietnam's 100 million people live this duality every day. The north leans increasingly urban and hyper-connected, while much of the central and southern regions hold fast to Cham and Viet traditions that prioritize continuity over convenience. This is not a divide of progress versus stagnation. It is a coexistence of different definitions of a good life. Getting here is easy. Fly into Hanoi's Noi Bai airport, dive headfirst into the tech-saturated future, then board a 90-minute domestic flight south to Quy Nhon, often under $50. One short hop, and you cross centuries. Visit between January and April for dry skies and calm seas, or during the wetter months when the countryside turns impossibly green and time slows even further. Bring sunscreen. Bring humility, and yes, bring adapters. Your devices will struggle here, and that is precisely the point. Because Quy Nhon does not reject the future. It simply refuses to chase it. And in that refusal, it offers something increasingly rare, a place where life is lived at human speed, where technology fades into the background, and where your greatest challenge is not losing signal, but realizing you don't miss it at all. This is where the comedy truly blooms, where future withdrawal stops being theoretical and starts slapping you gently, repeatedly, with irony. In Hanoi, your trip unfolds like a polished sci-fi pilot episode. AI-powered travel assistants, think the Visit Vietnam ecosystem, curate your days with unsettling accuracy. You seem tired. May we suggest a lakeside cafe with biometric-optimized seating? Street food arrives via app recommendations so precise it feels clairvoyant. Traffic chaos? Neutralized. A ride-hailing app summons an electric bike that threads through the madness like a hummingbird with GPS. Your smartwatch beams with pride as you rack up steps in smart parks flanked by biotech campuses and digital billboards that blink, analyze, and sell the future in real time. Then you land in Quy Nhon. Your phone lights up and immediately panics, searching for signal, searching harder, searching like a lost puppy spinning in circles. There is no AI here, no itinerary, no optimization. Directions are delivered via chin points, hand waves, and confidence. Locals navigate by tide, wind, and instinct refined over generations. Your smartwatch, suddenly unemployed, vibrates uncertainly, as if to ask, are we still relevant? Contrast 1, transportation. Hanoi is velocity. You zip through glass and steel corridors on grab bikes, AI billboards analyzing traffic flow above you. In Quy Nhon, an ox cart trundles past an 11th century Cham tower, completely unbothered by your presence. Traffic here means sidestepping a herd of goats or waiting patiently while fishermen unload the morning's catch. The real punchline? Your fitness tracker buzzes, low activity detected. You've been waiting 40 minutes for a boat that operates on something called island time, a tool. Concept no app has ever successfully modeled. Contrast 2, food. In Hanoi, meals are a data-driven affair. AI suggests fusion restaurants with robot servers and menus designed by algorithmic trend analysis. You tap, scan, confirm. Calories estimated, satisfaction predicted. In Quy Nhon, Dinner begins when the boat returns. Seafood is hand-caught, fire-grilled on the beach, and seasoned with nothing more than salt, smoke, and experience. The shock lands hard when you instinctively reach for your phone to order, and instead find yourself bargaining, smiling, gesturing, laughing with a local auntie who throws in extra food just because she likes you. No app, no receipt, no algorithm for generosity. This is the heart of the humor, not mockery, but revelation. Hanoi trains you to expect frictionless efficiency. Quy Nhon reminds you that friction is often where the stories live. One city predicts your needs before you know them. The other waits for you to ask, or not ask at all. And somewhere between missed notifications and grilled fish eaten with your hands, you realize the withdrawal isn't painful because something is missing. It's funny because nothing is wrong. The future didn't break you. The past didn't reject you. Vietnam simply handed you two worlds back to back and let you laugh at how dependent you'd become on the first before remembering how good the second feels. And then comes the contrast that truly rattles the modern traveler's nervous system. The moment your social life loses its signal. In Hanoi, connection is frictionless and futuristic. Social calendars populate themselves. Meetups happen in sleek cafes doubling as metaverse lounges, where half the conversation unfolds through avatars and augmented reality overlays. Friendships are maintained through stories, reels, and real-time reactions. Your phone vibrates constantly, affirming that you exist, that you are seen, that your latte art matters. Then Quy Nhon pulls the plug. No Wi-Fi, no feed, no algorithmic validation. Your social media apps refresh and fail. The screen freezes, panic flickers, and suddenly, there are people, real ones, sitting on low stools, tending fires, stitching embroidery in small handicraft villages where evenings are reserved not for scrolling, but for storytelling. Cham legends surface, tales of sea spirits, warrior kings, and sacred towers passed mouth to ear, unchanged by filters or edits. The comedy lands hard. You came to disconnect intentionally, but didn't expect the disconnection to be so immediate, so total, and so effective. With nothing to post, you are forced, gasp, to participate, to listen, to respond, to exist unmediated. And somehow, the conversations feel richer without a single emoji. This is not just funny, it is therapeutic. Two lives, one country. Living between these two worlds is a roller coaster that defines post-tech return shock. In Hanoi, the day hums with optimization. You wake to AI-driven alarms that suggest not just when to rise, but where to get coffee most efficiently. Navigation apps thread you through traffic like code through a processor. Lunch is a fusion experiment, banh mi reimagined by robots, paid for with blockchain-backed wallets. Even history goes digital. Evenings spent on VR tours of temples and museums, while your smartwatch logs sleep metrics to maximize tomorrow's productivity. Everything is fast, everything is smart, everything is measurable. Then comes Quy Nhon, and the metrics dissolve. Morning begins with roosters instead of ringtones. Days unfold slowly, learning to cast fishing nets by hand, wandering Cham towers as local guides recount oral histories preserved not in clouds, but in memory. There are no reminders to hydrate, no alerts to stand. The body remembers its own rhythms. Meals are no longer transactions. They are gatherings. Fresh seafood grilled on open fires, shared on the beach as the sun sinks into the sea. Stories move freely, unrecorded, unoptimized, but deeply felt. Time stretches. Conversations wander. Productivity becomes irrelevant. And this is where the cure reveals itself. The shock of Quy Nhon doesn't come from what it lacks, but from what it restores. Attention, presence, human scale. The laughter you didn't know you needed arrives precisely because the future, for once, has stopped interrupting you. Hanoi shows you where the world is going. Quy Nhon reminds you where you come from, and somewhere between a crashed social feed and a shared fire on the sand, your tech-addled brain resets, not with a software update, but with a story, a meal, and a moment that no device thought to measure. This is where future withdrawal reaches its comedic crescendo, not in grand moments, but in the daily malfunctions that expose just how deeply the future had its hooks in you. In Hanoi, your life borders on absurd efficiency. A smart fridge tracks your habits and orders groceries before you realize you're low. Payments are invisible. Schedules self-correct. Social plans assemble themselves online. You live inside a quiet, humming system designed to anticipate your needs faster than your own brain can. Then, Quy Nhon intervenes. Your phone, stripped of purpose, becomes a glorified paperweight. At the market, there is no barcode to scan, only fish still glistening with salt water, and a vendor who reads your face better than any algorithm. You haggle badly at first, you overpay, you laugh, you learn. The fridge does not order dinner, you do, by pointing, smiling, and trusting the smell of the catch. Social life follows the same pattern. In Hanoi, connection lives in group chats and online networks. In Quy Nhon, it materializes without warning. An embroidery session in a handicraft village turns into a party. Someone brings tea. Someone else brings music. A tailoring workshop becomes a gathering, then a celebration, then a memory, unposted, undocumented, and strangely perfect. This is the detox phase. Notifications are replaced by nature's alerts, sudden rain showers that send everyone laughing into puddles, wind shifts that signal it's time to head home, sunsets that quietly cancel your plans. No vibration, no alert tone, just life, insisting you pay attention. The mysteries that make it weirder and funnier. But Vietnam, of course, never stops at contrast. It adds enigmas, and these mysteries only amplify the humor. Why, you wonder, do Hanoi's AI systems predict everything? Traffic, taste, trends, yet fail completely in Quy Nhon, where weather changes on the whim of something locals casually refer to as the spirits. Fishermen glance at the sky, sniff the air, and cancel plans your app insisted were optimal. Then there are the whispers. Locals speak of Cham ghosts guarding ancient towers, watchful, unimpressed by modern intrusion. Travelers joke that devices malfunction near these sites. Smartwatches spike. GPS loses its mind. Batteries drain faster than physics allows. Is it interference? Coincidence? Or what some jokingly call supernatural withdrawal? The future being gently, mischievously rejected by the past. Hidden nearby, Bin Din's handicraft villages conceal beaches of singing sand, where footsteps chime softly like bells underfoot. No app can reproduce it. No recording captures it properly. You have to walk, to listen, to be there. Elsewhere, the contrasts deepen. Hanoi hides underground tech bunkers from wartime eras, cold, concrete reminders of innovation under pressure. Off Quy Nhon's coast, rumors persist of submerged Cham ruins, stone remnants swallowed by the sea. Dive here, and the shock intensifies. History layered under history, time folding in on itself. By now, travelers have coined their own diagnosis. They call it AI allergies. Symptoms include devices catching colds from lack of signal, compulsive phone checking despite 0 bars, and an irrational urge to apologize to your smartwatch for neglecting it. The cure, apparently, is prolonged exposure to reality. And that is the joke Vietnam keeps telling. gently, patiently, brilliantly. The future isn't wrong. The past isn't superior. But when they collide, the result is laughter and a recalibration you didn't know you needed. In Quy Nhon, the Detox doesn't lecture you about balance. It simply removes the future long enough for you to remember how human life feels when it's lived, not optimized, not predicted, just experienced. By 2025, Vietnam's tech-rural divide has become fertile ground for some of the most entertaining travel stories on the internet. AI-powered tourism platforms streamline bookings, slash costs, and turn Hanoi into a frictionless playground of optimization. Flights are cheaper, routes are smarter, schedules are flawless, and yet, those same tools unintentionally set travelers up for the ultimate punchline. The moment they return to rural Vietnam and discover their future-proof habits are suddenly obsolete. That's where future withdrawal earns its laughs. Tourism is booming thanks to digital tools, but places like Quy Nhon remain gloriously resistant to full digitization. This isn't neglect, it's character. While policymakers experiment with eco-AI and smart sustainability initiatives to bridge the digital divide, Quy Nhon continues to function as a living reminder that authenticity doesn't scale well and doesn't need to. Here, technology supports travel but does not dominate life. The contrast is what makes the comedy sing. The practical tips are simple. Use AI to plan Hanoi with ruthless efficiency. Let apps optimize routes, meals, and schedules. Then, when you land in Quy Nhon, intentionally unplug. Accept the silence. Bring a portable charger, not because you'll use your phone, but because it will search desperately for meaning. Expect meals for $5. Expect domestic flights for $50. Expect laughter, mostly at yourself. Because somewhere between the last notification fading out and the sound of waves replacing ringtones, you realize something important. This wasn't withdrawal, it was a recharge. Vietnam doesn't punish your dependence on technology, it gently mocks it, then hands you something better, a slower pace, human connection, stories instead of stats, presence instead of productivity. The future doesn't disappear here. It just waits patiently while you remember how to live without it for a while. So, laugh at the shock. Embrace the flip. Let your smartwatch sulk. Let your phone rest. Vietnam's greatest trick isn't choosing between high-tech and low-tech. It's letting you experience both, back to back, and walk away lighter for it. And with that, we step away from the screen, into the quiet, and leave you with one final instruction. Unplug. Unwind. And if you enjoyed the shock therapy, subscribe for more. Until next time, your funny future awaits.